Hey, Eagle fans! Your Statesboro Walmart is your one-stop shop for all your Georgia Southern football and game day needs. Pick up your GSU sports gear here. We have t-shirts, hats, tote bags, koozies, stadium bleacher seats, car spirit flags, wall pennants, beads, and more right here at the best prices in town. Also, don't forget we can handle all of your tailgating needs with our great food trays, baked goods, and fresh, high-quality meat, seafood, and chicken.
Walmart. Save money. Live better. Walmart.
On this week's show, we check in on the progress at quarterback for the Eagle football team and see how things went at the Day 1 pep rally, which once again was pushed back a week due to rain. All that and more as we welcome you inside the Eagles' nest. And welcome inside the Eagles' Nest. I'm your host, Josh Aubrey, being joined by Mike Anthony, the sports editor and Georgia Southern beat writer for the Statesboro Herald. And Mike, it's game week. We've still got technically a couple of days before but they're already working on West Virginia on the banks of beautiful Eagle Creek. That's the good news. The bad news comes in the form of a release that happened late last week, which said that fear that many of us had thought might be coming, and that is that Kevin Ellison will be missing the first two games due to some academic issues. Not exactly the news you wanted to hear when you've got a big game like West Virginia looming.
Definitely a huge blow. Kevin Ellison, such a huge part of the Georgia Southern offense, not only with his passing ability over 1,000 yards in the air, but with his running ability over 1,000 yards on the ground. Not too many quarterbacks around can pull that off. The good news, or the silver lining, if you want to search for one, is that his backup, Fabian Upshaw, it wasn't like he was just in there for mop-up duty last year. He was in there in the first quarter, second quarter, every game against top opponents. So he's no stranger to the game action, to the guys on the first string, talking to the offensive line, the skill position players. They're very comfortable. They've got a good rapport. Upshaw, I know, is up to the challenge, so definitely a big hit to the explosiveness of Georgia Southern's offense. But any coach will tell you, if one man goes down, it's next man up, whether that's an injury or, in this case, unfortunately, a suspension. That's how Upshaw's looking at it. That's how the rest of the Eagles are looking at it.
Well, with the next man up mentality going forward, that also makes it a very big concern who the third string, or the second string technically for the first couple of games, is. They moved Vegas Harley over in the spring. I believe some of that thought had to be what might happen with the Kevin Ellison situation. He's a little more limited in throwing the ball, but it seems like he's pretty capable on the ground. Your thoughts on Vegas Harley if he's had to be called into action?
Well, Vegas Harley, the biggest thing is knowing which playbook to pick up. He was recruited as a quarterback to Georgia Southern, one of the stars of a recruiting class a few years ago, moved over to defense after there was a logjam and the emergence of Kevin Ellison. Team player, he took up a spot at safety last year, got a little bit of playing time. Then this year, when his number's called to go back onto offense, he picks right back up where he left off. He's looked pretty sharp, maybe not quite as explosive as Ellison or Upshaw in the running game, but he's definitely tough, not afraid to take a hit. And I'm not sure about the intermediate passing game, but in practice, on those deep balls, he throws as pretty a deep ball as anybody.
All right, well, we had a chance to talk with head coach Willie Fritz about the quarterback situation going at least into the first couple games of the season, as well as Fabian Upshaw.
Vegas is getting a lot of reps right now, so we still got time for him to keep getting reps. He's got great speed, ran this style of offense in high school, so he's very well versed in this type of offense. And like you said, Fabian is, we've had a lot of confidence in him. Played a lot of winning football for us last year, but you need to have a couple of them, particularly with what we're doing. So we need to get Vegas going.
As far as Fabian goes, is there any between now and then things that you're a little concerned with him?
I'd like for him to gain about 15, 20 pounds over the next week, but I don't see that happening, right? So, no, he knows our offense inside and out. He's a really smart kid. He's very mature. He doesn't get rattled. He's got an excellent demeanor for a quarterback. And our kids trust him. He's a really good leader for us on and off the field.
Definitely excited. It was horrible news I mean, nobody ever wants that for their teammate, especially Kevin. He's like a brother to me. You know, we're more of a duo than anything. So, I mean, it was exciting to hear, but it also, you know, hurt me a little bit not having my partner with me in the first 2 games. I'm feeling really good about the passing game right now. I've had some pretty good days throwing the ball around, and just work a little bit more on our, you know, double option stuff, getting those pitches off quick because those guys 8 and 9, they're always coming. So you got to be aware of where they are. But I'm definitely feeling comfortable. We're getting a new system in, working on West Virginia, and everything's starting to come together today. The first 2 days were a little sketchy, but today everything looked real good, and I think we're going to be pretty good at it.
Well, I just try to do anything I can to help my team. If it's playing defense, if it's playing quarterback, special teams, whatever I can do to be a team player and help my team win, that's what I want to be doing.
Have you been able to fall right back into the quarterback situation? Do you feel comfortable?
Yes, like my teammates, Kevin Ellison, Fabian Upshaw, Coach Root did a great job with coaching me up, sticking with me, telling me what I'm doing wrong, telling me what I'm doing right, and just keep encouraging me. It's definitely exciting, but I try to not let any situation be too big for me, just try to stay humble and do my best.
Well, Mike, as we mentioned, they've already started preparing for West Virginia. Briefly, we'll get more into it next week, but briefly, what kind of a team are we looking at? It seems like, you know, you kind of think of them as being a team that throws as well as passes, but it sounds like they might do a little more running this time around.
Yeah, with Georgia Southern, you know exactly what you're going to get, even if the quarterback situation's in flux. With West Virginia, Coach Fritz thinks it might be a little different. Last year, they had a good quarterback in Clint Trickett. 2 receivers, Mario Alford and Kevin White, lost to the NFL. However, they bring back their 2 starting running backs, their 2 top rushers from last year. So I think that there's going to be a little bit more of a power game. They still have athletes. They can still throw it down the field, but Georgia Southern's got to be ready to defend that run.
Yeah, well, the good thing is it's a late game, so hopefully if both teams are running a lot, you won't have to worry about the crowds as much getting out of the stadium and having to stay up real late at night if you're watching the game as well. Well, speaking of things that were a little longer or shorter than expected, the day 1 ends up being day 6, I guess, and it's the pep rally that's held at Paulson Stadium every year. Kind of nice to be able to kind of share some of the traditions that have been around Georgia Southern football with the freshman class each year.
Well, Georgia Southern's all about traditions, and what's quickly becoming a tradition is day 1 turning into day 5 or day 6. This is at least the 3rd time that it's been postponed due to rain, but once again, a good show out. Coach Fritz very proud of the representatives from his team doing a good job of getting the students pumped up. He's telling them, you know, don't be the cool guy, be the excited guy. How is everybody else supposed to learn to be excited if the team's not? But they did a good job of getting everybody pumped up. I think that we've got another group of freshman Eagles that are ready to make some noise, learn the chants, and fill up Paulson every week.
All right, well, let's get out and see a little bit from what was supposed to be day 1 and ended up as day 6.
Part of day 6, as it were, tonight, we're planning to teach you what it means to be an Eagle.
Hey, first off, I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight. You guys are great for coming out here. We want to thank you guys for your support throughout the year. This is the best home field advantage in the whole entire country, and I really believe that. And a big part of that is because of our students. Last year we averaged 10,000 students, and this year we want to have even more students at the game. I talked to some players from some other teams when I was in New Orleans for a little conference event. They all told me, they said, man, this place was a hostile environment. They said our students really get after them. So we want you guys to keep that up. Come out here and make this the greatest play. I promise you there's no better place to be in Statesboro on a Saturday night or a Thursday night whenever we're playing in here. When Southern Pride gets cranking up and our cheerleaders do a great job and all our students, there's no place to be but here on Saturday nights. We want all you guys to come out here and support us. We appreciate your support.
Coach Eric Russell had a lot to do with this football program and where we are today. Coach Eric Russell had a lot to do with the growth of Georgia Southern University. No work. He talked about doing right. He said do right. And of course, if you do that and everything you do, you'll be just fine.
Well, the other sports going on, we have women's soccer at 0-1-1 on the season. The men's soccer team and the volleyball team both get things underway on Friday. We'll let you know how things go next week. But for now, that'll wrap things up. For Mike Anthony, I'm Josh Aubrey. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.